Hello, sweet souls. This is DTO for the podcast Nameless Energy. I'm grateful for everyone's presence here. And many of you know I am podcasting from Costa Rica at our beautiful retreat center called Embody. And we invite anyone and everyone that would like to come and join us for conferences, retreats, workshops. And if you yourself have any gift that you'd like to share and teach, feel free to come and reach out to us at embodykostarica.com. And many of you know that I am a recording artist, musician. You can follow me on all the places and spaces, DTO Music. And as you saw at the intro, this podcast is about art, creativity, and yoga. And yoga means union and connection. And creativity is also how we have, I would say, our soul's duty is to create a world in which we are all able to thrive. And today's podcast is all about that. I get to interview a team of people that are a part of an organization called Hearts of Gold. And there are 20 of these amazing souls. The Roaring 20 are committed to creating love, connection, and freedom for ourselves, our families, and the world. Their guiding principles are courage, unity, authenticity, power, and confidence. They are here leaning into being in service for supporting Hearts of Gold in their mission to build 3 new classrooms so that the children in the Uganda community can go to school and learn in a dry, safe environment. At Hearts of Gold, the school is run by and is for the community. This means that each family contributes what they can to keep the school going, carefully assessing which families may need assistance to afford the tuition and distribute partial or full scholarships based on their needs and based on the amount that is donated. And so when you donate, and that's our invitation and request today, you get to sponsor a child, and that your money allows each kid to get a school uniform, breakfast, lunch, books, pens, shoes, and a school bag. Without further ado, let's bring on the team of Hearts and Gold. Okay. Some of you know, usually I'm interviewing maybe 1 or 2 people, but today we have the dream team. Okay, this is a 5Q interview. So let's kick it off with question number 1. Question is, how did this project begin?
So, hello everyone. My name is Dennis. Um, Hearts of Gold project started when I was a student at Western Michigan in Kalamazoo. We wanted to give back to a community in Uganda, and so in 2019, we took a group of medical professionals to conduct a medical camp. While we were serving there, many locals showed up for dental care and general health care. Um, we then, among the team, people saw the need for education in this community, and they started coming up with ideas of how we can start a school. And we started out in the wooden structures that we are still using right now. If you can see on our social media, you will see well we started with wooden structures, and slowly we've been growing, but the growth has not been as we would have desired because of the hardships we are facing in terms of where we can accommodate the kids to learn in a safe environment. So yeah, in a nutshell, the Hearts of God started in 2019 with about 35 kids, and we've kept on growing up to right now where we're about 87 students.
Thank you, Dennis. And I'm going to share some photos that you had provided us of some of the kids. Also, you mentioned the wooden structure. You can see that building definitely could need some support. Wonderful. Thank you for giving us the origin story of how it began. So question number 2 is tell us about who's on the team, where are people located, and we'd love to hear more about that.
So our team, the Roaring 20, is a group of students who are dedicated to serving the Hearts of Gold to get these schools built in Uganda. We just felt really connected with the story of these students who don't have a rain tight building in order to do school in. They have to huddle in a corner when it rains, which it does a lot in Uganda. So we really wanted to support this group. On our team, we have people from Ohio, from California, Colorado, Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. There's 4 of us here today: myself, Andrew, Willow, and Stephen. And we're really excited to support the Hearts of Gold team. Which, can you introduce yours team, Jess?
Absolutely. Thanks, Miranda. Yes, Dennis and I are both here representing the Hearts of Gold board itself. Dennis himself is our founder and CEO of the board. I am a board member, and there are a few other board members in Michigan and the United States, and of course our on-the-ground board members and team that we could not do any of this without in Uganda.
Wonderful. All right, question number 3. So tell us about the current conditions in Uganda.
Yes. So as I'd mentioned earlier, we have a school that is running, but what we've faced over the years since we started in 2019, we started with a literacy boost program that was just giving kids in the neighborhood some kind of like lessons and trying to help them improve on their mathematics or English, but over time, when we rolled out Hearts of Gold, we saw that there's been a continuous need of a place where these kids can learn safely. Uh, what we're running into over time is the lack of structures. Because I said we started with wooden structures. When the rain comes, it goes through these wooden structures, and we are faced with doing repairs every other term as we start. We do repairs. We have termites affecting it, eating it from the ground. If you live in the tropics and anywhere in the world, you know about termites. Um, and so when also the scorching sun comes through, the conditions are not livable for kids. So that's the situation right now in Uganda.
Yes, and I'm going to demonstrate that here for people to see. And we encourage everyone to go to Hearts of Gold Uganda on Instagram. And you can see that, some of these structures absolutely could require some more security. And so, as of course, if rain comes in, the last thing you want to do is when you're teaching or being taught something is to have to huddle in a corner and not be able to continue with education. And I did see a picture of you and Jess when you visited the school. It looks like they greeted you with a sign, and these are awesome photos. And I know I'm going fairly quickly, but I encourage everyone that wants to see more photos to go and explore more. And here's the photo I was thinking about. Hearts of Gold, and then that's where you're promoting the mission, right? Perfect. Excellent. Okay, so let's, does anyone else want to elaborate on the conditions in Uganda right now? If you look at the bottom right-hand part of the screen, everyone can see that there's rains and flooding and at times, so it's important that there's proper structures for the kids to learn, not be distracted.
Yeah, and I think one of the other parts to highlight too is that it's not just about the education, right? It's a community center. There's so much that happens there in these facilities, and they serve as kind of that local heart of the community, and there's so much more that happens in their dentists. You had said that it started with medical outreach, right? And I think you also had COVID relief things that you did, and you have food drives that you hold. And so again, it's yeah, education's the centerpiece, and there's a lot of other things that come into it as well. So these buildings really are that sort of foundation and cornerstone for all that awesome work that you're able to do. And I don't remember offhand, but I think you affected something like over 1,000 families during the COVID pandemic, and you serve them out of the Hearts of Gold location in Uganda. So again, it's yes, it's 3 classrooms, 3 school buildings, but there's so much more that happens as a result of that as well that really uplifts this community. And that's why we, as the Roaring 20, the group putting together this fundraiser, felt so passionately about it when it was brought to our attention, and really felt that connection because community is something that's very important to us, and why we're really excited to have this chance to give back.
I love that. And I know two of you have been there to see the conditions, and it's absolutely, I'm sure, life altering, right? So, Jess, you want to elaborate about your experience?
I would. Thank you. And Andrew, thank you so much for saying that. I was thinking the same thing when we think about the conditions in Uganda. So for a little background, I was able to go in 2020, 2021 for my first visit and stayed for a year so those are some of our other board members. Thank you. So Dr. Eddie and Paul and Madame Doreen and Dan, they're at our microfinance office. And so that's perfect. Yes, it's by far one of the most generous, most heartwarming communities I've ever had the privilege of being a part of. And to Andrew and Dennis's point, it's truly amazing just the energy and spirit of this community and all the things that Hearts of Gold is doing, not just for the community, but with the community, right? It's very much not a handout, it's a hand up. And so it's very much coming alongside as part of the community, as community members, coming alongside and really like equipping and empowering them in very many different ways. And so being there on ground, of course, it's a beautiful country. Uganda is known as the Pearl of Africa. And so, beautiful equatorial weather all year round. And just the warmth of the community members, and the school, as Dennis said, is growing. But I remember when I went back last time, I think it was in May. I hadn't been back in a few months, so to see the new structures being developed a little bit, like, yes, it's nice, yes, it's wonderful, but just seeing the school come to life with all of our students. Dennis said we've now like nearly tripled the numbers. We've like over 80 students, and the teaching staff are amazing, and just you can feel the life of the school before you even enter through the front doors. And so it's just really powerful to see, to Andrew's point, what these buildings can facilitate, right? What these classrooms, what these permanent structures can really allow this opportunity. So, yeah. And then I'll also pass it to Dennis to maybe expand more for.
No, yeah. As Andrew and Jess were talking, ideas were just burning in my heart about what we've done, for the community as Hearts of Gold, but also with the community, like Jess said, together, teaming up. I remember when COVID hit, we didn't know how much we touched people's lives. So Hearts of Gold represents that restoration of hope for the people in Wairaka village. We served so many families, over 1,000 families benefited from the food drives that we did. And of course, with the generosity of people all over the world that supported. Then we also conducted an agricultural education program at the school. So people came at the school and we were teaching them better farming practices. And like just mentioned, we've also started a microfinance in the community, and lots of people are benefiting. These businesses that were going down during COVID were able to rise up, we started in the heat of COVID, and slowly people were able to restore their businesses and be able to run again. That, people that have lost hope, and with a medical team, we are hoping also to take another trip next year to do another medical camp. So folks out there that are interested, in doing stuff like, we also have a team that will be working with the construction team. So people who have skills in construction can, join us to go. People who have medical professional skills can also join the team to travel as well. So this is all that Hearts of Gold does.
Amazing. So let's jump into question number 4. And I know a lot of people that are wanting to contribute and donate are curious on, so how does the money get distributed?
So yes, the money is mostly going towards building permanent structures for the school. A portion of the money will go into salaries for the people who will be working in the construction project, and these are people in the local community that also be earning a living out of the projects that we're doing, because we live for the community and they live for us and we support each other. So when a project like this comes, it empowers the community in many different ways. We provide a space for them to come and work, help build a school for their community, but also get a little portion of them to take a little portion of the money that is coming in to take to their home and support their families as well.
Wonderful.
Mm.
So question 5 here is then, where can people donate? And guess what? It's already on the screen. So this is a page that your team created, and it looks like of the 25,000, you're getting closer to your goal. You're at 7,600 with 88 donors. So let us know if anyone else that hasn't spoken yet. Tell us about like how you got involved and how you are really being moved and touched and inspired by being a part of this.
So I'm part of the Roaring 20 group. And for me, it wasn't that long ago that I was in school. And, we are so greatly blessed in the US to have these safe school environments where we don't have to worry about weather conditions. And we're able to learn without worrying if it's going to rain, if it's going to be too cold, if it's going to be too hot, and have AC. And just creating such a safe space for these children to be able to learn is so important to me, because I think every child deserves that. And that's what moves me the most, is helping the children have a safe place to learn, because having an education is what moves you forward in life, and everyone deserves that.
Absolutely. Many people know that my background is in education and that I live in Costa Rica, and that, the community events that we do here, it's always about empowering the community and having people have the tools to have a shot at life, right? Not everyone is born on third base or second base or home plate. Some of us are under conditions that, just the bare minimum. As I always joke around and say when I'm in Costa Rica, like, I could complain, but no one would believe me because I live in paradise. And it's kind of like what you're alluding to, Willow, is like in the States, if most of us that are grateful to be in a country that's so abundant, like our worries or complaints or problems usually don't even equate even close to what some international communities are going through. And I feel like that's what Hearts of Gold is about, like bringing in those resources. And that's one of the best opportunities we have. And truly, the monetary exchange of getting 25,000, I feel that's absolutely possible. And I know that before we hopped on the podcast, you have a goal. Would someone like to share what the date would be? Stephen, what was the date for when you'd like to get this completed?
Sure, absolutely. So we're aiming for the 25,000. I'm gunning for at least 30,000. Actually, we're gonna go over it by November 5th. And I just wanted to say that that's for 3 classrooms. We have the numbers, and For $10,000, we can build a schoolroom that has a solid roof, that's not made of wood, that will last for decades and serve kids for decades. So imagine the value, $10,000, and you have a schoolroom that for decades children are going to be learning, and the ripples and the effects that that's going to have on the community and their communities, and just how amazingly expansive that is for such a little amount of money.
Yes. Yeah, that is quite impressive of how much the US dollar can go in other countries, and to have, 3 classrooms, that's buildings, right? That's extraordinary. Um, Wonderful. So this is an opportunity now for anyone out there to look at the tinyurl.com/hearts dash of dash gold. And it's also in the comments on whichever social media platform you're watching this on. And as you can see, currently it's at 7,600. And I love the goal to get it to 30K and beyond, right? Like the more you donate, the more possibilities there are for these kids and for the community at large to have opportunities that have those ripple effects that can really make an impact. So this is a great opportunity for anyone that would like to have some closing words, and to share anything else about Hearts of Gold.
I just want to reiterate too, like this is how you can make an impact internationally. And I think anyone who reads any type of news knows it's a tough climate out there. There's a lot going on. This is a really easy way to spread some love and support. It's not a handout, like Jess said, it's a hand up. And candidly, we're going to get to that mark. We're going to get to that 25 grand. So like, now's your chance to be in before it was cool, right? So come join the party, come hang out with us. Like, this is going to be a lot of fun to then be able to see the results, the good that this money will do for dozens and dozens of families literally across the planet. So come on and join us, y'all. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think this is where we can really show up and make a difference. One person, one vote, one contribution, it can make a difference. It can change lives. And this is yours today. So take it.
Thank you for that. So my friend Alan is live with us in the comments, and he just said, "Hey Dave, I'm on Instagram page for Hearts of Gold Uganda. How do I donate?" That's a great question. Here we go. So when you go to Hearts of Gold Uganda, at the top area, you just simply click right here. There's a web link, and from there you can click donate to help build a classroom. And then there's a PayPal link. There's the website as well. So that's the best way to do it, through Instagram. And then there is, your main page that you offer as well. So thank you for that question. And here's also the website, heartsuganda.org. I love those softball questions. Hey, where do I go to pay and donate and support? Thanks. We appreciate you, and you're awesome. All right. Any other final words anyone like to share? All right. Well, I want to acknowledge each of you for being a stand for communities that are able to have received and will be receiving the support and the visits. I assume all of you are going to at some point plan on going to Uganda to see how your hard work and your efforts are making an impact, and to recognize that we can make a change. And, it's always recognizing that, the gifts and the blessings that we have in this life, like to always pay it forward. And as you're saying, like to give someone a hand up in life, for kids specifically, to have a better opportunity. So I acknowledge each of you. I appreciate your presence today on the podcast, and share this on all the social media places, your newsletters, share it with friends. Maybe a request for everyone out there is just copy down this URL, the tinyurl.com/hearts-of-gold, and or go to the comments and just text 5 of your friends today and just say, hey, just learned about this great organization doing great work in the world, Hearts of Gold Community Schools in Uganda, and do what you can. So Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you, and keep on enjoying the rest of your day. Thanks again. See ya.